my internet just went down. Hopefully you guys can see me. I am just in my craft room having a little bit of some creative happy hour time. Cheers. And I thought I would jump on and show you guys what I'm working on. I've done the base, but I'm about to do all the fun bits, the embellishing and the layering. So I just wanted to share that with you. I am using the new Love Notes collection. So I've been working on my base for now. So I've already got the two sides here. Like that. So there's no border on the inside. So this is all a really nice cohesive double page layout. So the measurements are 12 by 12, 11.5 by 10.5, and then 11 by 10. So you've got the pattern paper, some red cardstock, and then the white cardstock. Oh, and it matches my nails. That's great. So I wanted to show you some fun stuff that I've been using, and you will have seen hopefully some of the paper that has come out, the Love Notes paper. It's gorgeous, very bright love. I love it. I will be showing some ways to use it for non-love and Valentine's themed layouts in another YouTube video, but for now I'm definitely focusing on Valentine's Day because that's coming up. And then I want to use the Love Story stamp set. Sorry, it's back to front. And then I'm also going to be using this stamp set here, which is the Endless Love. So I'll be combining those two on my layout. And I'm also using the Endless Love dies. Yeah, Endless Love dies. So they are part of my layout today as well. But what I wanted to show you was the doilies. So these, they come in two sizes, and they come in the pink and the red. And I just thought they were amazing. So I'm going to be using those on the layout today to show you how to use these really fun doilies. And so with these doilies, they come just as a full pack. They're an embellishment, so you can buy them separately. So I will get started with using these. With the collection, if you've only got close to my heart stamps, today I'm using these two inks, Papaya and Scarlet. So they go really well with this collection. So the first thing I wanted to show you is that I've got some scraps left over from other projects. So I'm going to be incorporating these into my layout as well. So I'm going to start with the left-hand side, just because that's the most common side to start with. So what I want to do, my title will be on the right-hand side. So if you're using, if you want to stick around and see how I'm doing the title, that's going to be on the other page. So with this, I've just got my sketch over here. So if I'm looking that way, it's because I'm looking at the sketch. So let's see. So what I want to do is I've already cut all my photo mats as well. So on the left-hand page, I've got a 6 1/4 by 4 1/4 photo mat in the white, and then I've got two 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 red photo mats. So those are my photo mats for the left-hand side. And then I've got all these strips, so I really want to use them up, and the doilies. So what I'm going to do is I've got here, I pre-measured these. So this is a 2 by 12 inch strip. The other side's the pink flowers that I used for the layout you can see in the background there. So I'm going to be using this coral heart, if you can see that. Yeah. So I don't want the full 12 by 12 for this. I probably want, let's get my trimmer out. I'm just sort of half winging this as I go because the sketch I'm working with didn't have any measurements. So I am just winging it and seeing how it goes. So I might cut that at 9 3/4. So 9 3/4 by 2 is the strip, and I really just want to place it, yeah, probably a little bit down my page. Now just thinking, yes, I do want that to be mostly over, but I am going to leave a little gap so it doesn't meet right in the center of the layout. Now you can ink these pieces up just to make them a little bit more exciting. However, I have decided not to, but it's definitely something that you can do. So I've got my first piece on, and then I want a piece at the top sort of overlapping that. So where did that piece go? There it is. So I've got this really fun love heart strip here, which once again is left over from my layout, and that one is 1 3/4 high. So I want that to be slightly smaller. So I'm going to cut that at about 9.5. So we've got 9 3/4 by 2, and then 9.5 by 1 3/4. And then that one's just going to stack on top of the coral hearts that we've already put down. And I'm just going to plonk that there. So that's what it's looking like so far. Pretty quick and easy. So I've got my 2 strips down. Now comes the fun part. So what I want to do is add a little bit of the doilies. I'm just debating if I want red or pink. I think I want the pink over in the corner because there's already the red cardstock. No, actually, I'm going to just quickly do my doilies in the corner first. So you can see the size difference. So I am going to put a large doily right in the corner here. I'm going to glue that in now while I'm happy with it. And like I said, they only come in the 2 colours, but there's no reason why you can't cut your own doilies in whatever colour you want if you don't want to do a Valentine's or love themed layout with this collection. There are plenty more options available. So I'm just sticking that big doily down, and then out to the side here I want one of the smaller pink ones. So where are my doilies placed? One sort of up here. Now what I do want to show you is that I've got pink doilies. Now I really want a 3rd colour because obviously, oh actually I want the pink. Hold that thought. I do want the pink more down here because I want the coral one. Oh, it's tricky because I've got coral and coral. No, I do want the pink one up there because I'm going to have pink down the bottom as well. So I'm putting the pink doily there. So this one, now this is a complete experiment. I haven't done this yet. So let's see if this works. If it doesn't, I'm just going to do another red. But where is my silicone craft sheet? That would probably be the best thing to use for this. Oh, I don't know where it is though. Usually it's right here. That's all right, we will make do. I will just use a scrap piece of paper if I have one of those. I just threw out all my scrap pieces of paper. Here we go. Found one. So what I'm going to do is just put my pink doily on a scrap piece of paper, and I've got my papaya ink, and I'm just going to press over it, sort of run it over the doily to make it papaya. Now these might need to dry for a little bit, so what I might do is do another one while we're here. So we've got one papaya one, and then I need read. No, I think I only actually need one papaya one, so that's good. So I'm just going to leave that to dry. So now you can see that I've made it darker. So it was originally that colour, so I have made it darker. So you can colour these doilies, which is great. Not the red ones, but the pink ones take really well to colour. So I'm just going to put that over there to dry by my wine. We'll just make sure this is still okay. Yes, and so I've got my doily drying. So let's work on the other doilies. So far I've got my two up here. And then I kind of wanted a scallop border across the bottom here. So I thought, well, why not cut these doilies in half, and then that way they can make my scallop. So these smaller ones are sort of 2 3/4. So if you just try and find the middle, it doesn't have to be exact because you can hide them. So I've got 2 bits there, and I will cut one more up. And then if I need more, I've got, actually I'll cut 3 up, and then that way I should hopefully have enough little scallop pieces. Did I want the pink? Yes, I did want the pink. And so these are great if you are looking for a scallop frame for anything, rather than die cutting scallops or doing that sort of thing. You can just cut these in half. So I'm just going to lift, where's my spatula? It's so good. You guys can't see, but I am framed in by my craft box, and everything's sort of to the left and right of me, and it is the best thing ever. Right, so I'm just going to glue these down, and I don't know if I will need to trim them. I possibly will. Let's find out. Oh my gosh, right. So that one goes in the end there. So hopefully these are all pretty much the same height. So I won't need to faff around with them too much. And possibly a good idea would be to draw a pencil line and then line them up before you stick down the strip. But, you know, I like to live dangerously. So I've got that scallop, that scallop. So then we have got a sort of half scallop situation. So I need to cut that there on that one. So you could cut sort of the scallops so that there's only one full one, and then you've got it a bit more even. But I don't mind. Oh no, maybe I cut that too. That's okay, because there's a photo going there. So we can just stick that in there like that. Okay. Get everything lined up. So now you can see I've got my doilies up the top. my scallops down the bottom, and this one here is going to go down the side here. So I'm just going to put some glue on that and stick that down. So now I have my doily cluster up the top here, and then my doilies scallops down the bottom. And then I'm going to get my photo mat. Now you could do a red or a pink photo mat for the one that's on the doilies, but I just wanted to use the white to kind of keep it quite neutral, considering there's a lot of colour going on in that corner. So I will be putting my photo on this on Valentine's Day, because that hasn't been yet. And I'm just going to put that there. So actually I didn't need that third scallop, because that's going to, oh, maybe I do. I don't know if I like it being bluntly cut off there, so I'm just going to cover it. That doesn't need to be there. So I now have my photo mat stuck on here. So you can see you've still got the doilies sticking out and then the scallops under here. Very cute. And then I've got a gap here, which is fine because I'm going to embellish a little bit more over here. And then down the bottom, I want my 4x4 photo mats. Oh no, I've done this too far down. This is going to be an issue. I should have checked. Let's have a think. Maybe I'm just going to cut one at 3 1/4 and then see if it'll do a 3x3 photo. Let's have a look. So if I go 3 1/4, I usually try and dry fit my layouts, but today that didn't happen. And now I am stuck. 3 1/4. Yeah. Okay. So instead of my photos being 4x4, they are now going to be 3x3. But I'm not mad about it. I hadn't actually planned to put any specific photos in here yet. So it doesn't, yeah, it's not stressful for me. I'm just rolling with it. So now what I want to do is that needs to come over just a smidgen. And up just a smidgen. There. And then my photo mats are going to go like that. Right. Crisis averted. So I'm just going to stick my photo mats down. I think it's because my scallops are a lot bigger than the scallops in the sketch challenge. So I'm playing along with the sketch challenge. I think it's Scrap the Boys is where I got this one from. So I'm just kind of changing it up to be a Valentine's Day layout because I'm not actually entering the challenge. I'm just, I just really liked the sketch. So this is the basis of the first layout. So you've got the photo mat and then the 2 red photo mats. And then we are going to put another doily half. Where am I going to put it? Probably don't want to put it down there, so yeah, I'm going to put it on the side. I know some of you may be thinking this is doily overload, but trust me, I have a vision. So we've got the third one there. Doily doily. And then I just want a couple of little banners coming out. So I've got, this works out great. I've now got some leftover red and some leftover heart. So I'm just going to dovetail these. So easiest way is to find the center. I don't know if I can do this to show you. Find the center and then cut up each side. Then you have your wee dovetail. Then I'll do the same for this one. Cut, cut, cut. Get rid of all my scraps. So now I just have a cute wee banner over the doily. One. So if you can't see me off screen, I'm trying my best to do it, but and then that one goes down there like that. Cute. And then that way you can put a little subtitle down in this corner here. Right, so that is the left hand side mostly done. So I do want an embellishment. Just thinking, I do want, I've got arrows. I might do the bases and then I'll play with the die cut pieces. So for now, that's my left hand side. On to the right. So this one is going to be not a mirror image, but I'm still going to keep the same themes. So for this one, I have a 4-inch piece of the coral. So it's slightly bigger than the 2-inch piece here. And so I want to kind of have that about there. And I don't want it going all the way across again. So I'm going to cut it about there. Like I said, this is a lot of winging it today. I'm just winging it. So once again, about 9 3/4. And I will stick that down. And it's going to go about there. I'm going to put that in the middle. And then I have a little strip left of the love hearts. So that's going to be under my photos. Now, the sketch has a gap. And I'm trying to decide if I want the gap or not. So I've got 3 photos. 1, 2, 3. Once again, I probably should have measured these because now my coral is slightly smaller. So what I might do is 1, 2. So these are all 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So I might actually trim them down to be a true 3 by 4 so that my photo will end up being slightly smaller, but it means that these will all fit. So my photos are now going to be 3 by 4. I should really figure this out before I come on here, but I think, you know, it's all well and good to see people making perfect layouts on the internet, but I'm here to say that sometimes you just have to rework things. I know I've watched YouTubers where they've, you know, smudged ink or done something and mucked up some of the stamping or put the papers the wrong way round. So we all make mistakes, but it's just how you know, fix them. You've got to really flex your creative brain by doing that. Right. I'm leaving that there because I'm about to trim this one. So now we have photos that fit. Hurrah! Fabulous. So actually the gap does look good. Let's do the gap. Now, I said that this was 9 3/4. This one is going to be the same size. So you've got your 9 3/4 by 1 inch. Oh, that looks cute too. But no, I'm going to stick to the sketch. Stick to the sketch. So I've got this piece. Now this Love Heart layout, Love Heart paper is probably my favourite out of the bunch. And I've been, you know, in two minds because I've been using it. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should save it. It's so pretty. But no, I need to use it up. So I've got my coral and then my strip of the Love Heart on the right hand side. And then I will glue down my photo mats. So I just want to make sure that they're nice and even. And then that way I'll just print my photos slightly smaller when I get round to it. Like I said, this is for Valentine's Day, but Valentine's Day hasn't happened yet. So I'm pre-doing my layout. So, although it's going to be interesting because I might be going to a Western themed murder mystery dinner. So that doesn't go with this theme. So I might have to have 2 Valentine's Days. Jereb, if you're watching, we need to do something that matches this layout. So I've got my photo mats on there. It looks a bit disjointed because obviously it's the white on the white, but I just want to give the photos some breathing room from all the coloured paper. So I've got my photo mats, and then I want another doily. And so I've got a big pink one this time and a small red one, just to kind of change things up. So I really only need half of this large doily, so I'm going to cut it in half just to conserve it, because I don't want to be hiding half the doily under the layout where it can't be seen. So I'm just going to stick this doily down. And that's going to go sort of in the corner here. Like so. Stick that down. So I've got that doily on. And then I want one of the red ones. Now the red one, once again, I'm going to cut in half so that I can use the other half on another layout, because you're not going to see the other half anyway. So these cut in half beautifully, which is great. And I will just glue that one down too. Now we're not doing a scallop border as such on this side under the border. Now let me just plonk that there. Yes, beautiful. So now I've got my 2 doilies up here, and then the strip down here, and my photo mats. The next thing I want to do is my title. So I've got, I'm actually using 2 of the new stamp sets from Stampin'. Just putting my trimmer away. So I want to use a combination of Endless Love and Love Story. So these are the 2 stamp sets that coordinate with this collection. So I was like, why not have both? And I think, I'm just thinking, actually, I'll just quickly put my other half of my doily down here. I probably want to use the other half of that red, just because I've got red over in this corner over here. So I want some red down in this corner over here. And because we've once again got that half of a doily, that makes it easy. So that can go right in the corner. Doily. Beautiful. And then that way I know where my title has to go, because I don't want to be stamping and then realise that I don't have enough room for my title. So if we quickly look at it, I'll flip it around, without the title. So you can see there's a lot of red over on this side here. So I want to stamp my title in red just to bring some of that red across. So the closest match I've found for these doilies is scarlet. My children are on the loose. So I've got Valentine's from this one, and then Day on this one. I've also got a Day on this one, but it's quite small, so I want to have a bold title. So I'm just going to work out where I want my titles to go. So I've got, where's my Valentine's? There it is, Valentine's. So I've got the Valentines. Valentines. Now this Day might be actually a lot bigger, so let's just work with this and see if it's going to work. I mean, it's not too terrible if the Day is bigger. I'll just then end up putting it down below the yeah, it's larger. So what I'm going to do is sort of offset it and then put a love heart here. And then my journaling. Valentine's Day. Cute. Right. Now, is my block going to take both of them? Possibly. I got the long block out because I thought, oh, yep, I'll be doing a long title. Right, so I've figured out where sort of the layout that I want. So I've just stuck that on my block. So Valentine's Day. Season it. And then I'm going to ink it up and stamp it. Now, I don't know where my foam mat is either. So this is kind of risky, but we'll be okay. So I'm just getting that really nicely inked up. Making sure I haven't got any sort of patchy bits. Valentine's Day. Now I'm just going to stamp that off onto my scrap piece first, just to make sure I'm happy with it. Valentine's Day. Yeah, that looks cute. So now I'll do that again properly. Sometimes with a new stamp set, I do stamp it off on some scrap paper a couple of times just to get it really taking that ink. So I might do that as well, because red is notorious for not sort of, well, for being a bit patchy. Yeah, that's looking better. Right, third time. So now I'm going to stamp it onto my layout. Get it nice and inky. And that's going to go sort of in between the two photo mats. And I'm just going to hold that there, just to let it soak into the paper. Oh, that looks good. I know it's round the wrong way, but that is now my title. Now, while I've got the ink out, I'm actually going to stamp some of the hearts that I die cut. So I did the die cut hearts off camera because I thought it probably isn't fun for you guys to watch, so I cut a whole lot of these bits and pieces out. And so I've got lots of little bits. Now I've got 2 of these coral hearts and then one with the lighter. I don't know if you can tell the difference really, but yeah, these 2 are darker and this is lighter in the coral colour. And then I've got some pink ones, I've got a big red one, I've got some red arrows, and then I've got some XOXOs in the red as well. So with this die, it coordinates with the stamp set. So I just put the stamp set down. So you can overstamp them with these stripes or this swirl. So I thought it would be kind of cute to have these stripes and do a tone on tone sort of thing. So let's have a look. There's my stripe. So these, yeah, fit really beautifully onto the die cut hearts. And I'm just going to turn this around and do a tone on tone. So I've got my papaya ink floating around somewhere. Here we go. So I'm just going to get my scrap paper again. I always like to have scrap paper hanging around. And then I'm going to stamp up the lines. And just put those over the heart, just to, that's cute, just to give it a bit of interest. So that is the tone on tone, and I'll do the other one too. Oh, now this one is actually that way. So actually, maybe I will keep those 2, the lighter, and then the darker one has that. Yes, let's do that. And get rid of that ink. Change of plans once again. Right, and that can go away to be cleaned. This is thirsty work, but I'm really enjoying this. So the next thing we want to do is figure out where all the die cuts go. So I've got all my photos down. I've got all my paper down. Now we just need embellishments. And, oh, yes, my laptop had gone to sleep, but it is ready to go again. Now I know I need a heart down here somewhere by my title. Another really cute thing I did was, you can see this heart here has little hearts cut out of it, but the die is actually separate, so you can cut the little hearts out of any solid heart. So I did that on this tag, which I thought was really cute. That doesn't fit. Let's have a look. So we could probably do that heart. Yes, I like that. So I've got one of the scribbly hearts, and then I'll pop up the coral heart. So one, stick that down, grab some dimensionals, pop that on the back. So I am adding a little bit of dimension to this layer, but not a huge amount because there is a lot going on. So I don't want to be too all over the place with what I'm putting on here. But I'd be interested to know if anybody has actually started making plans for Valentine's Day yet, because like I said, I have floated the idea of a Western themed murder mystery dinner that is happening on Valentine's Day. And if you know me, you know I love to cosplay and dress up, so that sounds very much like me. So now the title has the cute Valentine's Day and the hearts. And then I want, so the die has two sizes of arrows. So you've got the smaller one and then the big one. So I did kind of want one of the arrows here, and that does work because it is a slightly different red, if you can see that. So it does stick out enough, which is great. But what I'll probably do is put a heart over the doily and then an arrow. Oh, but then do I want the arrow out? So this is the tricky bit. I could use the smaller arrow. The embellishing is always what gets me. Yeah, I like that. The smaller arrow, heart, heart. And then this one here. Like that. Heart, heart, heart. Title. My journaling. Where is that going to go? These stamp sets do actually come with journaling lines. So I'm just going to pull those out because that is one less thing I need to worry about because I'm terrible at writing in a straight line. Now I will need to I'm just going to quickly clean this because I will need this block for the journaling. And I'll probably stamp in the scarlet as well just to keep things consistent. So that can go there. I try to tidy as I go. Sometimes I achieve that, sometimes I don't. You can't see that corner, so it's fine. So that goes there. Then I'll put the heart away. Right, so journaling. Let's see where I want that to go. So I could put it sort of under the title, or I could put it up by the doily, or even over on the other side. But then to me it's kind of disjointed if the titles are... I feel like the title should be over here. I mean the journaling. So I could put it under the title. Yes. This is the tricky bit. Where am I going to put it? I could put it over there. Or there. I think over here is probably the best option. It does mean that it sticks out a little bit from the doily, but I can mask off the doily and that should be okay. So what I'm going to do is just mask this doily off with a scrap doily. and then ink this up. Thank you for sticking around during my decision making. These journaling lines have been so good because they're a dash and dot. They're really cute, and they actually match one of the papers in the layer as well, in the DSP. Right, so that is masked. And then I'm just going to stamp I might have to stand up for this because I need to be lined up. Right. So I'm just going to hold that. Beautiful. Kind of smudged it, but that's okay. So you can see my journaling is up here now, and because I masked it off, it follows the curve of that doily, and just ignore the smudge. Right, so now I'm going to stick down the heart down here. A little heart. No, I did like it down a bit. And then my arrow. And I will put that there. Like that. Yeah, so that is that embellishment cluster done down here. And then we've got the title embellishment cluster, and then the doilies and the journaling. And I was possibly going to put another heart up here. Where did that go? It's gone into oblivion. It was my coral tag one. We will come back to that. We will come back to that. Right, so now I kind of want to match the embellishments on this side with this side over here. Oh, I'm getting red on my white because I haven't washed my hands. Sorry. Valentine's Day, title, journaling. We don't have a banner over this side, and we've got a banner here. So I'm wondering if I need to incorporate a banner down here. That might be cute, actually. So I'm just going to cut some banner paper. So I've got some more red scrap left. Actually, I've got this smaller piece. Let's use that. And that I can dovetail. I don't need the whole thing, but I'll work out how much I need to chop off later. Just because we've got the banners over on the left-hand side, so I just need it to kind of match. So I've got my banner here. And then, how big do I want this banner? Quite chunky. Let's see. About there. A chunky banner. And once again, I will dovetail it just to make the layout a bit more cohesive, because if you've got something on the left, you should usually repeat it on the right. So I've got that banner. Now, do I want that? No, I want it like that. So, about there. So I'm just going to stick this down. Then, this I need to chop about there. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight because I'm sticking it under the little love heart strip. There you go. So glue and stick. There we go. So now I've got the banner theme over here and the doilies, and then I've got the banner and the doilies, so I just need some hearts on here. So I've got that cluster, that cluster. I'm going to put a heart. Do I like that? Don't know if I do. Maybe it's just the placement of where I put it. No, I don't like that because then I'll have the same thing on the same side. So I'm going to put my other heart with the arrow. Just move this across, you can see, overlapping the doilies. And this is going to go the other way, so the arrow will point in. So the arrow will point oops, I think I glued it the wrong side. Yes, I did. I could possibly use the bigger arrow. This is why I cut lots of everything. So, yes, I like that. Let's do that. Now, the right way, Lauren. My goodness. Glue that side. Now my glue has stopped functioning. It is always the way. And it's very hot in here. Right, so the arrow on this one is going to overlap, so I'm going to put that on the line, so you can see that there. My arrow. So now I've got an arrow in both corners. I've got my banners. I've got my doilies. What else do I need? I haven't used this heart, but it's possibly too much unless I put it there. But I don't know if I like it there. It doesn't stand out. I think I've got enough hearts. 1, 2, 3 heart clusters, 3 doily clusters, 2 banners. I do have these little XOXO things. The problem is they're in red, so where I would have put them is on the banner over here, but they don't show up. I suppose I could put them over the strip here. I'm just playing with that to see if I like it. Yeah, I do like that. And then the other XOXO can go here. XO, XO. Do I like that? Yes, I do. Perfect. I'm going to use my glue pen for this one, I think. I don't know if this even has anything left in it. Probably not. Where is my new glue pen? Move my wine so I don't knock it over. Let's see if this... That's my chair, I promise. Let's see if this one has anything in it. Yes, perfect. So I'm going to put my XOXO on here. Just so I can use them, because I cut them for this layout, so I might as well use them. Oh, I love my nails, but they do make it tricky to scrapbook sometimes. Now I've got thread hanging out. Sorry, the sun is now coming in there as well. So, oh, I'll just finish gluing these on. Usually I would take this off camera, but oops. Stay. Actually, I might just do just debating if I want to do 2 or 4. No, I think I will do all 4. XO, XO. Cute. I was thinking, oh, maybe I can just get away with 2, but no. And now my glue is not behaving. And I just realized those are 2 different colors, but that's okay. I cut them at the same time. I don't understand this, but okay. And then that one can go along here. Sorry, this is the tedious bit. This is probably a bit boring, but I can't do anything about that because I need to glue these down. But we're nearly there because I don't have any photos or journaling yet, so I won't need to bore you with those details. XO, XO. Gossip Girl. Isn't that what that used to be? Right, so I've got my X's and O's. X's and O's. That was a great song. Stuck down. I feel like I do need some sort of heart here, but I'm just not feeling the love heart. Do I have any other hearts cut out? No. So in that case, I won't put one there. And that means Where did my coral heart go? Did it fall on the floor? No. I will find it after the live has ended. I've got lots of doilies still left, which is great. I mean, I could... No, I really needed the coral. It's okay. They're all overlapping. Yep, I'm going to call that a day. I'm done. So I've got the layout ready to go. So here it is in all its glory. I will post a photo of it on the live. On my Facebook feed and on Instagram. So here's the right hand side with the XOXO, the Valentine's Day, the journaling, and the doily and heart clusters. And then the right hand side, which is a lot busier, but yeah, we will, once it's got the photos on it, it'll be fine. So the only other thing is, I was just thinking I didn't have any of that heart paper over this side, but I do. And then I've got that paper over that side. I've got the red, I've got the doilies. It's a balanced layout. I'm very happy with it. So thank you for tuning in. I will be putting this on my YouTube channel, which is Creative Happy Hour, if you want to watch along after Facebook gets rid of this video in 30 days. And I will see you all probably at the end of this week. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.